Blind Bartimaeus, four unique things to learn. This is a miracle of healing. Bartimaeus, who knows to deal with people who try to silence him. That's a very interesting character. Bartimaeus' persistence adds to his bold expression of faith. It is the conviction of Bartimaeus that Jesus can and will restore his sight. Now, what's the story of Bartimaeus? Bartimaeus, the word means son of honor, but the man was a blind beggar living on the margins of society. Bartimaeus had no honor in society because he was blind and he was a beggar. But he heard Jesus was passing along the road and he cried out, "Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me." People tried to rebuke him, but Bartimaeus shouted even louder. Jesus showed him respect and restored his sight and reclaimed his honor. The first thing, Bartimaeus grasped who Jesus is. I don't understand how Bartimaeus did it. He perceived who Jesus is with little data. Son of David, that's what Bartimaeus called Jesus. Now Bartimaeus somehow understood that Jesus is God's designated agent, a royal figure. Bartimaeus, despite his blindness or spiritual ignorance, discovers that Jesus can show mercy and heal him. Now some may call it intuition, but I always call it inspiration of the Holy Spirit. That we connect to God and encounter a God of compassion. Now, the second and very important thing that we learn from Bartimaeus is Bartimaeus persisted despite hindrances. Faith does not come easily to people. Sometimes we have to face obstacles. The crowd rebukes Bartimaeus, demanding him to be silent, remain silent. Bartimaeus is at the bottom of the social privilege. So people are threatening to limit his range to access Jesus. Probably they wanted to access Jesus. Bartimaeus yells even loudly until his request reaches Jesus' ears. I have seen people face obstacles to reach out to God for help and for healing. It's a very humbling experience to listen to testimonies of faith. You may have one. The third important thing that we learn from Bartimaeus is Bartimaeus expects a transformation. His actions tell it. Jesus could have walked towards Bartimaeus, but Jesus summons the onlookers to bring Bartimaeus to him. Those who tried to silence Bartimaeus now have to assist Jesus. There is an important detail. Bartimaeus tossed aside his cloak, expecting to regain sight. A blind beggar would typically keep his belongings close at hand. Bartimaeus is confident that Jesus will restore him, changing his health and economic status in society. I tell my friends to keep low expectations from others. Keep it as much as less, because there will be less disappointment. But when it comes to God, I always say have big expectations, because when things go crazy, God makes the world important for us. We are called to toss away our attachments, material securities before we approach God. Now the fourth thing we learn from Bartimaeus is asking the right thing. Jesus asked Bartimaeus, "What do you want me to do for you?" Bartimaeus replies in simple words, that I would see again. He knew Jesus could bring deliverance and wholeness. Unlike James and John, Bartimaeus seeks no special privilege or places of honor. James and John were more blind than Bartimaeus. Sometimes we ask for the right thing from God, but there are times we remain blind and seek privileges from God, which goes many times against God's will. Something else sets Bartimaeus apart from other beneficiaries of Jesus' miracle. So, there is something special about his miracle. Bartimaeus is the only person in Mark's Gospel who followed Jesus after being healed to the cross and beyond. Other people approached Jesus with great faith, but Bartimaeus is one who ended up following Jesus to Jerusalem. Mark mentions this fellow's name. It's only evident that he was there. Now, faith may be born out of a tangible need, but it is a choice to walk on the way of God. That God is calling us and be witnesses of faith. Bartimaeus, his name is mentioned by Mark. This is a very important detail because Bartimaeus definitely was very active after Jesus' resurrection along with the first. With me learning 4 important things from this great personality that Jesus healed Bartimaeus, gave him sight, honor, and restored him to wholeness. And you have been part of my journey. Thank you for staying with me and watching this video. This is a very important thing we have learned today. The 4 important things from Bartimaeus. It will help us on our journey. I'm sure. Give this video a like. Share this video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching once again, and definitely we look forward to see you in the next video.